Here we go. 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 Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Matt here. How you guys doing today? You guys been good? Everybody okay? Alright. Today, we're finally back to Bluetooth headphones, but just as our last video, what caught my attention this time isn't just because these are two new flashy headphones. There's more to the conversation we're about to have today. Intro. Alright, today we're talking about the two new top-end Bluetooth headphones from Mpow, the X 3.0 and the X 4.0. And if you guys never heard of Mpow before, that's because you haven't been paying attention, because they have found themselves a niche and they're doing a fantastic job at it, producing some of the best-selling headphones across a bunch of different categories on Amazon, for example. Their stuff is really popular. Anyway, let's go. Both headphones are closed back, and they already do quite a good job at isolating noise, but the X 4.0 also has active noise cancellation as an option that you can turn on and off on your whim. As for being easy to drive, they are both Bluetooth, so that's a non-issue, but they also have 3.5mm connections in case you run out of juice, and if you plug them in like that, they are really easy to drive, like really. They're not exceedingly loud though. Build on both is pretty darn good. They're sturdy, they feel like they're gonna last like quite a long time if you take care of them. Don't go around thinking they're indestructible, because they're definitely gonna break, but that's also true across the board for any headphone you ever buy. Be careful with your stuff, right? That's the main point. Both of them fold up to make it easier for you to travel with them, so it's easier to carry. The 4.0 actually comes with a little suede, velvety sort of bag that you can put them in. That's a cool touch. And also, I didn't mention that before, both of them come with a 3.5mm cable, which is flat and super slim, and it drapes awesome. I absolutely love these cables. Now the 3.0 appears to be entirely made out of plastic, which is covered in a rubberized sort of coating, and it has faux leather covering the headband, but the actual metal clamps that, you know, stick together and hold the ear cups in place, they don't feel surprisingly strong, but they also don't feel like they're gonna fail, like basically for no reason anyway. So again, just be careful with your stuff and it's probably gonna last you for a long time. The 4.0, on the other hand, does have an internal metal skeleton, which is probably why it is a little bit heavier than the 3.0, which is also a good thing in terms of durability. It's probably going to last you a longer time, even if you do take care of both of them. Both have the same combo of 3 buttons, volumes up and down, and a single button for on, pairing, and off. That's just a long press, a longer press, and a super longer press. Plus, the 4.0 has the, lever for turning on and off the noise cancellation active stuff. Oh, and obviously the 3.5mm jack and the micro USB for you to charge them. And both of them have super fluffy, delicious, awesome, donut-y looking ear cushions that are so comfortable. And inside the ear cups, there's also a little bit of protection with a little bit of padding so that your ears don't touch the inside of the driver walls, which are 40mm drivers on both cases. As for battery, they both advertise on those boxes over there 15 to 20 hours of battery life. And I need to report to you guys that both of them live up to those numbers. I had 19 to 20 hours on both of them on multiple sessions, which is awesome. Excellent battery life, with or without noise cancelling on. And they both sport fast charging. So 10 minutes of charging equals 1.5 hours of playback time. That's dope. Now to sound, they're actually surprising, for me at least, on the category. It's well-rounded and well-balanced-ish. There's obviously a lack of clarity and smoothness across all the frequencies, but they're overall enjoyable to listen to, and I actually liked using them for their specific purposes. I will say though that the 4.0, when you activate active noise cancellation, it does something to improve the audio as well. Maybe in an attempt for you to feel like the active noise cancellation is even better than it already was. But the overall volume gets a boost, and there's added clarity to the low and mid ranges, which is weird. I didn't expect to hear that, but the overall experience and the overall quality of sound actually gets improved when you turn on noise cancellation. And since it didn't really dump that much from the battery, just use it all the time. Alright, now all that said, why did I want to talk to you guys about these two headphones in particular? Well, because of how much they cost and the value proposition Mpow has been bringing to the market. These guys go for 30 and 40 bucks respectively. This is the 3.0, this is the 4.0, 30, 40, yeah. Now, I have recommended a lot of expensive gear on the channel before, but my view on Bluetooth headphones is this. These things exist for our convenience and to let us continue to listen to whatever it is we want on the go, on our commutes, on our work, on our office, without bothering everybody else around us, on a plane, and all that sort of stuff, right? And yes, there is a bunch of people that like using Bluetooth headphones, doesn't matter where, just because it's convenient, because you don't have wires and all that stuff. But overall, they were built for those scenarios, for those situations. They're not necessarily situations where you can't even take advantage of that much more quality, that much more being delivered to you. It's important to remember as well that Bluetooth technology hasn't been invented for the transmission of audio and video signals in the first place. So there is an inherent loss of quality there, which also in turn means that there's less headroom, there's less capacity inherent to Bluetooth headphones for them to deliver high quality audio. They have a different purpose, at least a different core purpose, compared to, traditional wired headphones. That's sort of my point. Maybe we don't need to go for the $300+ Bluetooth headphones because the core principle, the core job it's going to be fulfilling is filling. So maybe in those situations, something like these guys would already be more than enough for what you need. And yes, there is obviously a question of preference specifically for brands, but I honestly do see a lot of value being delivered by these guys. Maybe I was more impressed because I went in with low to no expectations and they ended up delivering much more than I expected, but I will still truly recommend these things for 30 and 40 bucks to anybody who doesn't fit that demographic of I hate cables. For everybody else, I really don't see why you would need to spend 10 times more for what these things are supposed to be doing. Just remember that sometimes stuff is popular just because, and at other times, stuff is popular for a good reason. And in the case of these guys, I honestly feel like the value proposition for the amount of money they ask you, they deliver a lot of value. And that's it for me today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, so leave any comments or suggestions down below as usual if you feel like it. Like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified of new stuff coming up. Thanks for the guys that used Giraffe for, supplying all these things, lending me the headphones and this ginormous display for the review. This is really like a physical store type of display. This thing is gigantic and it's super heavy. Thanks a bunch for lending me these stuff, guys. I'll leave the link to their store down below. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. So thirsty.